Hello! It's the first day of the Autumn Readathon, started by Mercedes Bookish Musings. She's celebrating having reached 30,000 subscribers on BookTube, and to celebrate that she's got 6 prompts, and even though I'm a bit late to the party, I thought I'd sit down on this Sunday morning with gloomy weather outside, a lot of lights turned on, so I think there's all kinds of funky shadows going on, and show you the 4 books that I'm hoping to read in this week, sort of cheekily trying to cover all 6 prompts. The first prompt she's giving us is to read a spooky or gothic book. Now, I started reading The Wonder by Emma Donoghue yesterday evening, I gotta be honest, and I read the first 20 pages or something like that, and Emma Donoghue, I read Room by her, which is about this mother and son who are basically locked up in the cellar for years and years, which was spooky, like spooky topic. And now in The Wonder, she's following sort of the folklore of girls and young women who claim to survive without eating anything. So she's having this nurse travel to Ireland and check out this girl and see if it's all a hoax, or if it's some kind of abuse, or if in fact there's some mythical, magical thing going on, and she does indeed need no sustenance. I think it's going to be at least a little bit spooky. I haven't quite figured out what the time setting is so far, but as I think there's like horse-drawn carriages riding people around, so it's hopefully also going to cover prompt 4, which is historical fiction. The second prompt is to read a non-fiction book that feels autumnal. Now, I'm choosing to interpret this a little differently, simply because I've given myself the task to have to finish one whole lane of books in my TBR shelf before I can buy new books, which I think I might break with at some point, but so far I'm going strong. And so I had to find something that was sort of non-fiction-y, sort of fit it, which I already owned. So Spookathon is wrapping up today, and I'm just going to take a book on into this week, which I didn't get to, which is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. This, I guess, is only loosely non-fiction. It is a true crime novel, and Capote did write about murders that actually happened. Duh, true crime. So only loosely fits the non-fiction category. It is a very literary working with the subject, but the topic is murder, and autumn also being the time of scary things and Halloween coming along, I thought that would at least in spirit fit the prompt of it having to feel autumnal. Plus I want to read this, and I didn't get to it last week even though I wanted to already, so I'm counting it. Then prompt 3 is to read a novel set in a cold location, and prompt 4 is to read a historical fiction novel. And again, I'm kind of counting The Wonder for this one, which is set in a so far to be established time frame. I'm guessing somewhere between 17th century and 20th at the latest. I'm not sure, and it's set in Ireland, as is The Good People by Hannah Kent, which is also set in Ireland. Apparently I can't get much colder than this. To be really honest, Ireland is probably not much colder than where I live in Germany. But I'm just going to follow my prejudice of it always being sort of rainy and windy at least, so the atmosphere will fit. And The Good People by Hannah Kent, again, is an author who I've read the Burial Rites, as has pretty much everyone and their mother. This is set in Ireland, again in 1825, so I'm counting it for historical fiction for the 1825 prompt, and it's Ireland again, so I'm just hoping for bad weather, I guess, in the book. And this centers around, I think, 3 women who try to help this boy who is slowly turning mute and not moving properly anymore, or something like that. So in many themes this sounds very similar to The Wonder, and I hope it won't be too similar and it'll take away from the reading pleasure of either. But I really love Burial Rites, so I'm hoping to love this. And as far as The Wonder goes, I really did enjoy Room, even though I thought there were some things that were a bit problematic with it. so I'm hoping to like The Wonder as well. Two similar books who are sort of loosely covering prompts 1, 3 and 4. Then Mercedes also has two sort of extra prompts, which I'm just going to go with similarly as the others because I really like them. So prompt 5 is to read a short story collection. And I'm just going with a short story collection by an author who I've wanted to read something by for a long time. I got it from the library, and as a bonus, I'm pretty confident that Mercedes has recommended this author. So this is Jenny Erpenbeck, and the book is called Tanned. It's a slim little book which is also quite helpful for a readathon. This is a German author, so this is also the German edition. So this kind of kills two birds with one stone, because I also just think it's good to read some German every now and then. My first language is German and I do tend to forget that. And then the 6th and final prompt is to read an adult novel about a young female protagonist. And I actually watched Mercedes' suggestion video about this sort of topic or these specific types of books, and coincidentally she talks about one book, suggests one book that was on my TBR shelf. I hauled it recently in a secondhand bookshop haul, having no clue what it's about. It's Rabbit Kick by Annie Hartnett. This is about a young female protagonist. No shit. And yeah, the blurb doesn't really help you that much figure out what it's about. It sounds like it is actually from the point of view of the young girl though, and Mercedes liked it, recommended it, and it is her readathon, so I think I'm going to give this a go. Plus it has a rabbit on it, so that's super autumnal. There are loads of those running around where I live. So those are the, well, 5 books if I do stick with The Wonder, which I have on my Kindle, and I have high hopes for all of these actually. So let me know what you're reading. I'm gonna check out everything that's happening on Twitter today and hope that I'm not too late to join in with my TBR. Hope you have a great reading week. Bye-bye.